welcome to this week's edition of the Horror Debate. I'm Michael Mandy, and with me, Rowdy Jeff.
Hey, and this week we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It feels good to be back in the saddle.
Yes, we are. It takes a break. Sometimes life gets in the way.
Life gets in the way. You know, we took like a month break or something, right?
Actually, I just forwarded to you. We get fan mail, believe it or not.
We do.
And hate mail, naturally.
And that too.
But one of our fan letters wrote, "Dudes, where are you?" And so I wrote back to him, "Come on, we hit a Friday deadline every Friday for over 3 years."
That's right.
So even when I was gone driving a semi-truck, I was still uploading them every Friday.
Mike, it's unfathomable to me when I think about that we've been doing this over 3 years and have only taken 2 breaks.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself and yourself. You know, I mean, that's awesome, man. But this week, you know, we got back in the saddle. We said, you know what? We want to do this new nightmare thing.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
We have to.
So this week, we're going Freddy style, baby. I got the sweater on and the whole deal. We're going the new Nightmare on Elm Street, of course, from 2010. And, man.
Starring Jackie Earle Haley.
He sounds like a serial killer just straight out the box. I mean, seriously, I heard that name and I said, this guy's got to be good, right?
Well, Jackie, I remember growing up watching him, and he was in the Bad News Bears.
Yeah, well, hey, man.
And Breaking Away.
I'll tell you what, I heard that name and I said, you got to be kidding me, right? I mean, that sounds straight. They're going to make a movie about him. Jackie Earle. I mean, come on. If that's not a serial killer name that fits in with all the others, I mean, give me a break, man. Anyway, this is high expectations because of what Robert Englund did with this series, you know, and of course, as time went on, I kind of felt that the Nightmare on Elm Street series got derailed and kind of went all stupid stick on us. But, but you know, I said, since they're going to redo it, you know, they're going to fix all that. They're going to go back and they're going to make right, okay? And I don't know, did they, Mike?
I don't think so.
Of
course, you expected me to say that.
I was a little.
If I would have said, dude, this movie rocks, it's the reason why remakes are done in the first place, you would have had a heart attack, right?
Yeah, it's a little underwhelming.
It's very underwhelming.
And it's not the fault of Jackie Earle.
Well, you know, okay, one of my problems with it, I can see what they were trying to go at, because Robert Englund did not look like a typical burn victim. A burn victim looks like your face just melted into wax and then hardened.
Right.
It's like smooth. It doesn't have all those nice, perfect, round, pink circles all over.
Hey, watch what you're talking about on this public.
Yeah, you know, like
those perfect pink circles. Come on, man.
Robert Englund did. But you know, I don't know. So they were trying to go for a more realistic look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but the problem is, I think they turned him more into a mumbling version of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
The face was smooth enough, and when he talked, you could tell that his lips were barely moving, and most of the time he just mumbled and, I'm gonna come out.
Well, here's my problem. Here's my problem. Straight out of the box, Mike.
Out of the box.
This was Nightmare on Twilight Street.
That's it.
Okay, I mean, are you kidding me? I'm sitting there watching it going, oh my God, what these young folks. I mean, yes, we had young folks back in the day in the original with Johnny Depp and all these folks, right?
And Johnny Depp was 21 when he filmed that.
Yeah, from 21 Jump Street. Anyway, but the thing is that these young folks, I mean, I just saw that dude with all the freaking holes in his face in Jennifer's Body. And he wasn't that great in that. And then he comes over here into this film, and I'm like, oh man, you know, I don't know. I couldn't. Maybe it's my age, maybe it's your age. I don't know. I couldn't relate to these folks. I wanted them dead fast. And the honest truth is, I was willing to do it myself. I mean, I was bored. I was bored, Mike.
Well, also one thing that was interesting was, in the first movie, and most horror movies, they introduce you to everybody, but you can pick out who the focal point is. The movie follows a person, but this movie, it changes right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You're following the blonde chick, and all of a sudden...
You're always following the blonde chick.
Yeah, I am. But then they flipped it on us, and I went, oh, man, now we're on the goth chick.
Yeah.
You know? Oh,
now,
okay.
Well, there are certain things I like. I like the additional information in the background of the story. Okay? I like seeing the cave that he took the kids in. I like seeing, the dingy, dirty, nasty environment that he lived in.
Well, but when the opening credits of the original, we did see that too. When he's building the glove.
A little bit,
but
it was more disorienting in the original because you didn't really capture the whole vibe of the way the whole place looked. You kind of got that he was down in the steam room or whatever, and he was building a glove. Okay, big deal. But we didn't get the kids being lured in, the reactions of the parents, all of that kind of vibe, the revenge vibe. We didn't get a lot of that.
They started to pull that out in the later Nightmares.
But that's what I'm saying though. I like it because now in the remake, it's all put up front. You know what's going on. This guy took those kids, took advantage of them in this dingy, dirty cell, whatever, where he slept.
Well, but we kind of did know that at the first movie.
It wasn't nearly as pronounced.
Correct.
I liked it.
Wes gave us credit for having a brain to piece it together ourselves.
I watched the original right after I watched this. I went back and I said, you know what? Because I remembered because they tried to hit it kind of point for point.
Oh, they tried to hit certain scenes point for point, like the bathtub and the glove.
Absolutely.
And the body and the body
bag. Absolutely. So I went back and I watched it and I said, you know what? See, that is disorienting to somebody who's just coming into the film. Now we know the history of Freddy. We know, what he's done and everything like that, the history of the character. But now, in the remake, it's kind of put up front. It's acted out. You see what went on, and I thought it had more of an effect. I thought you actually felt for those parents. What would you do in that situation? That's kind of the way I felt. So I dug it. I liked the additional information, the additional runtime to put that in there. I think it was worth it. Okay. The acting in this film I thought was flat. I didn't like the young kids. I didn't care for Earl all that much.
Jackie.
The problem is that maybe he doesn't get a fair shake because of Robert Englund's personality. I mean, you talk about a guy who owned a role, and Robert Englund owned that role. So it's very, very difficult for us who have watched this since we were kids to change gears and to watch somebody else try to do that.
Well, I wasn't much of a kid. I did see the original at a drive-in, so I wasn't old enough to drive.
But we were young. We were young. I mean, come on now. I mean, what are we talking, 84?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, my thing is they wanted, maybe it's not Jackie Earle Haley's fault altogether. I'm sure the director said, we want to make him not so comical and jokey, which, by the way, I hated when Robert Englund did all that stuff.
I agree.
And I've said it before in the Nightmare on Elm Street review. I only liked the first one.
Yeah.
All the rest of it, I didn't care for.
Right. Because it got so
stupid. That's all right. You can bleep that out.
It got so stupid, Mike. Yep. It got so stupid that you sat there, as I've said in other debates, there has to be a foot somewhere in reality for me to really enjoy it and to feel scared or to feel, the little curlies on the back of your neck, rolling up. It's this movie, unfortunately, I wasn't scared one bit. There was no jump. There was no nothing that got me.
Well, the movie tried to give you jumps left and right.
It's
like, what's that at the window? Ah! Oh, it's just the boyfriend.
Yes. But the one
every
part...
10 seconds, there was a jump.
The one visual that I really liked, the one visual of the new film that I really liked was I thought the body bag scene was much better. And I thought the visual of her opening her mouth and with the wide eyes in the body bag...
Oh, yeah, that was creepy.
That was cool.
That was actually creepy.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Yes.
That was cool. That
visual, that was good. And I'm not hating the movie. I'm just not liking the movie. It's almost like, why did they do it? I'm kind of indifferent.
Yeah, what was the reason?
What was the reason behind it? I don't feel a good reason.
The answer is money.
Well, yeah, they wanted to cash back in, but I don't see this particular character played by Jackie
Earle Haley.
I don't see this character getting the fame and the recognition that Robert Englund did.
No.
I don't see it, And of course it's because some will say, well, of course he's not going to because he was the original. Well, but if this would have been done right, I think it would have turned Freddy back, like how kind of Rob Zombie's Halloween, all of a sudden you saw Michael Myers everywhere again, right? I mean, stores, merchandise, everything, right? It was out there. People were talking Michael Myers. Nobody's talking Freddy.
Hopefully they were all saying how much the new movie was done.
Nobody's watching. Well, like I said.
Well, the second movie, everyone was talking about that damn horse.
Yeah. Well, what I'm talking about on the Freddy side is the fact that I don't see the reason behind it. Besides money, if you were doing it for the art or to rewrite the story to make it better, but they didn't rewrite the story, they just kind of added to it.
That was the other thing.
Yeah.
This movie really was a remake. It's like that crappy Psycho remake that they made with Vince Vaughn.
Oh, Vince
as Norman
Vaughn.
Bates.
I love Vince Vaughn except for that movie.
Yeah, that movie was horrible. It's like,
Yeah.
what was the point of this movie? We already know what's going on. We're seeing it all. And this movie is going on, and I'm going to say, oh, God, if she falls backwards and pieces a thing of his shirt and then says, hey, let's bring him into our world by doing this, you wake me up. And I'm going, I saw this already.
Yeah.
The purpose of a remake is to do something that you couldn't have done before or add to it.
Yep.
So, okay, I can see, you got to admit, the whole scene in the pharmacy, which they showed in the preview of her falling and going back and forth, and all of a sudden the things were the shelves were the pipes, and they were all lined up going
it
back
morphed
and
right
forth,
into
back
that
and
scene.
forth.
Yeah,
that was visually very cool. But one problem is, I'm sorry, if a psycho killer is walking towards you, your adrenaline's kicking up, you're not falling asleep.
Yeah,
that whole micro sleep thingamabob.
That was kind of cool. That actually does happen.
Yes, it does.
And so I appreciate the fact that they were trying to put a little bit of twist, a little bit of like new style into the story.
That worked when they were driving and he saw Freddy in front of the car and crashed the car because that's happened. Oh, whoa! I was asleep for a second.
Yep.
Trust me, I drove a semi. I know what that's like.
Exactly.
So I could see that. Just I don't know. And the thing is, I don't know if it was in your theater or whatever, but whenever Freddy was talking, Jackie Earle Haley was talking, because his lips were so solid, a lot of times his voice was off screen. They would show something else and you would hear him talking.
Yeah.
And it just sounded like it was added in post-production.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like it was coming from the movie. It sounded post.
Yeah. Well, I think the bottom line on this deal is that, it
and
wasn't...
he did try to crack stupid
It wasn't
jokes.
made... Yeah, he did.
He did.
It wasn't made for the hardcore audience, Mike. This wasn't made for fans of Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, this was made for 14-year-olds who never saw the original.
Exactly. And to that point, I have to say it's a 2-star movie.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they turned him into a mumbling Michael Myers. Gee, the guy's hanging upside down. The brain.
You're giving Freddy too much credit to say he's a Michael Myers now. Come on.
You still have 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
I was like, come on. Now, Robert Englund, that was the whole difference. The thing that I liked, there was a big difference between Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger. Michael Myers was a person with a little bit of personalities, and Jason was this giant unstoppable killing thing, and Freddy was smart, and he was intelligent. He was evil and wicked and nasty, but he was smart, and he would stick his personality into it. When the kid's laying upside down saying the same line, Robert Englund would have said, the brain can stay alive. So we have a lot of fun times left, and he would get more into it and give you more personality.
That's what I'm saying. But
this was just...
But the reason they did that, again, was because they were trying to bring it into more of a reality. Freddy, unfortunately, back in the day, like I said, it got to the point where it
got too jokey.
I was cringing at every turn. The reason they didn't do that, and this one is to give it a little bit more of a serious vibe. Unfortunately, though, the entire movie just did not serve the hardcore audience. It was for, like you said, people who hadn't seen it. Go back, watch the original film. You will be much better served than watching this one.
But you know what? One thing, I was going to give this 1 star, but I will give it 2 stars because the ending, I liked the ending of this movie much better than the ending of the last movie. I agree. Hated the original Wes Craven version film when the mom got sucked into the tiny door hole.
Yep.
This movie, you knew it was coming. Why? Because everything else in the movie was spot on.
Yeah.
The saves. But then, bam, okay, I'll buy that. That's better.
Yeah, exactly.
When Mom got sucked through the door, I was like, oh, come on.
Now, this is the definition of a 2-star film.
Yeah.
This is, it doesn't look like a lot of effort was put in. It looks like it was just kind of like,
go through the motions. Come on.
You know what? We're jealous. Mikey got a remake. Jason got a remake.
Yeah.
Where's Fredward?
That's right.
We
there's money at the end of this tunnel.
That's
Let's hurry
right.
up and get it.
Exactly.
All right, 2 stars.
2 stars.
I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy Jeff. We'll talk to you next week at the Horror Debate.